Hey yo, what is up? Hall effect keyboards are finally here for the masses. Now, a year ago, the price of entry was like an arm and a leg. Today it's under $50 and it's brought to you by Redragon. This is the Fizz K617 and this is what it comes packaged in. Simple box, simple packaging, just a keyboard, some wires, and you're good to go. Not only is it an 8000 Hz polling rate keyboard, because regular keyboards are like 500 Hz to 1000 Hz. Now you're just 8 times faster, but don't be too alarmed. 8 times faster polling rate sounds like a lot, but it just means 0.75 milliseconds faster than 1000 Hz polling rate keyboard in layman's terms. You're not going to feel a difference basically. I have no way of testing this 8000 Hz polling rate, but in the peripheral community it seems like they're reporting that it scans only at 1000 Hz. So I have no way of verifying whether this is really working 8000 Hz or not, but I do believe my community because they never seem to lie to me so far. And if they say it is 1000 Hz, then it's 1000 Hz, I suppose, unless I can find some more information how I can test this and find out if it's really 8000 Hz polling rate. But it doesn't really matter anyway. You know, the Fizz or this Redragon K617 uses magnetic switches, and magnetic switches are like your regular switches, except they don't work the same way. To understand how this works, almost all switches have like 4 millimeters of travel from the time you press it and until the time it bottoms out. It's supposed to be 4 millimeters of, that's regular switches anyway. And then the actuation point is about halfway in the switch, which is somewhere there, 2 millimeters. You can, in some switches, you actually press it, you can actually feel it when you press halfway and you get to 2 millimeters. That's when you actuate, which means they have a fixed actuation point which is halfway down the switch, and the reset point is there as well, 2 millimeters. So you press it, it actuates, then you have to go all the way down, and then when you release it, it comes up halfway. That's when it resets again, and then you release it fully, and meaning that, you know, it has a fixed actuation point and reset point, which is typically in the middle of the travel, is what I'm trying to say, in the middle of your switch. This means when you press the key, it goes past a gate to execute, and then when you release the key, it goes past that gate again to reset the switch. But now you can move this gate closer instead of actuating it at 2 millimeters. You can, at any point, you can actuate the switch. So you can actually move that gate, instead of 2 millimeters down in the middle of the switch, you can put it up to about 0.5 millimeters, for example. So you touch the key and you start moving your character. That's the whole point of these magnetic switches, Hall effect switches you call them, because they use magnets to know where the switch is. But now the problem is, you know, if you can actuate it as soon as you touch it, let's say 0.5 millimeters, you press it and you start moving your characters, your character or whatever in the game. Now you have to travel all the way down 3.5 millimeters and then come back up again where you reach that 0.5 millimeter, and then it resets again, because you have to pass that gate to reset the switch again. Now this is where the rapid trigger comes in. With rapid trigger, when you have it enabled, your reset point is no longer fixed as well. So your actuation point can be 0.5 millimeters, and then your reset point could be 0.5 millimeters as well. As soon as you start releasing it, it starts to reset the switch. So that's what rapid trigger means. So the reset point is no longer fixed. Instead, the switch, you can set it that the switch resets the instant it travels upwards once the keystroke is registered. This means that you can perform like repeated keystrokes more rapidly, as pressing the same key requires less key travel. In addition, rapid trigger mode can be customized to be as responsive as you want. It can be as soon as you touch it, or it can be all the way down where you need to press the switch all the way down to the bottom for it to actuate. So you can either start actuating it as soon as you touch it, or all the way down. That is like up to you. It's not affected by any keystroke related delay. This means a very responsive gaming experience, especially for your WASD where you need to move your characters quickly. First person shooters, if you're playing shooters like CSGO, Valorant, Apex Legends, those kind of games where you need to move rapidly, relocate, you need to juke your opponents from getting a headshot on you, this is when it's going to be very useful. This will probably even work on World of Tanks if you actually want to, because sometimes you can see those shells coming towards you and you can actually evade those shells if you're quick enough. Now, how good are these keyboards in actual gaming? I've tried them out myself. If I'm being honest with you, for an average player, rapid trigger and magnetic keys are not going to make you a better player. But if you are an above average player, this is where you have an advantage, because you are going to respond quicker, you're going to move quicker, you're going to be able to evade shots, you're going to be able to juke your enemies a lot quicker because of that rapid trigger, and because of that very quick actuation. As soon as you touch it, you can set it to how sensitive you want it, and this is what most of the pro players are using nowadays. But of course they're using the one that is like $250-300. This one is just $50. If you are interested in magnetic keys, magnetic keyboards, you are interested in entry level stuff, try and get into it, see if this is going to be a good fit for you, and then think about investing into a more expensive board, more expensive keyboard or higher quality keyboard. This will be useful for you. Of course, this is made fully of plastic, and to be honest with you, it doesn't really sound that great. Let me just show it to you what I have done to it on my personal keyboard. What I've done is I've put some rubber rings on the keys so that it makes it sound a little bit better when I actuate it. So I'm going to remove the rubber rings, or I think these are silicone rings, and then I'm going to show you what it sounds like without those rings, how it came, how this keyboard came delivered. This is what it sounds like, kind of like very cheap sounding, hollow sounding. And then with those rubber rings, sounds a lot better, isn't it? These are just rubber rings for keyboards. They make them sound a little bit softer, more acceptable sound, rather than this. This one sounds really bad. So that's what I did to mine to make it sound a little bit better. For $50, this is really great. I think it's on sale now for like $48. So a very good deal from Redragon. Magnetic keyboards, magnetic switches. If you're interested in getting into the latest technology in gaming keyboards without breaking the bank, perhaps this is for you. This is what you're looking for. Entry level, cheap. Try it out. If you like it, maybe you can upgrade to a more expensive aluminum keyboard in the future, metal keyboard, higher quality keyboard. That's up to you. But for $48. It's cheaper than a mouse. Basically, it's cheaper than one of the cheapest mouse. It's cheaper than a Dragonfly F1 Pro Max. It's cheaper than a VXE Pro Max mouse. So really good deal if you want to check it out. Anyway, that's my video for today. If you want to get into some magnetic switch keyboards, the Fizz K617, go check it out at the Redragon website. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.